In the age before hardware stores and online shopping, the blacksmith was one of the most important people in any pioneer town. They provided an essential service by creating and repairing goods and tools. On today's episode of the Folsom History Show, we'll be looking at our very own, still-functioning blacksmith forge in Old Folsom. We caught up with Jerry Schroeder, who manages Pioneer Village for the Folsom Historical Society.
Okay, this is our blacksmith shop, which I, as a blacksmith, consider that to be the real highlight of our Pioneer Village. So blacksmiths made it or fixed it. They were the high-tech worker of its era. They were somebody that was very important in the community, and without one of these guys, you were up a creek. This blacksmith shop has tools and anvils and pieces that come from blacksmith shops that were on Sutter Street. In the early Sutter Street, there were at least 4 blacksmith shops that I know. And what they did is that they made tools, they fixed wagons and fixed all sorts of things. They also shoed horses. The anvils and all of the equipment in there was historic equipment. This is for real. And it's really kind of fun. We have a forge over along the side of the building that actually was used in the 1860s up on Sutter Street. So the blacksmiths, our forge operates at 1800 to 2000 degrees. We can crank it up to 2,200 degrees and actually melt steel. This building was built in the 1970s to be pretty much everything that a forge in the 1870s had, and it's all there. We have a special piece of equipment, an 1895 era power hammer, and it runs on electric motor. Originally they were used with overhead systems. It's a 50-pound. The normal hammer that we use, the hammer you're used to at home is about just over a pound, about 18 ounces, 20 ounces. Normally we use a 32 to 42 ounce hammer here as blacksmiths. This is a 50-pounder, and it makes a significant difference when you're moving steel. I've been a blacksmith for 12 or 13 years. We can bring you in within 2 or 3 days working. We can get you up to speed so you can operate safely, and then we do. To really get into it, it takes time, several years and so forth. And each year that I've become a blacksmith, I've stretched myself out. So we've got some young guys that have just come in here recently, and they're just taking off. And Jim and I, who have been here 10 and 12 years, say, gosh, we're being passed up. They're leaving us in the dust. We got to raise our game, which is what we're trying to do. But we're having fun together. I have to tell you, this group of people is more fun to work with. For instance, Jim and I can't do the kind of work he does. His hand doesn't do the kind of work I do. But we'll sit and critique and help each other do projects together, and they become far more than either one of us can do. And it's really fun doing that together. We have this good relationship. I've just finished a handrail for my daughter. We've done a gate that was just a beautiful piece of art. And I've done freestanding sculptures. But more than anything, I just enjoy doing something that somebody brings something in and needs something, and I just do it for them. And they walk out of here happy. Hey, look what I've got, and these guys made it for me. That's what's fun. We had a handicapped guy that was in a street show up here and he sat in his wheelchair, and he couldn't reach the shelves in his display booth to get something down. So somehow he comes rotating down here in his electric wheelchair. He says, guys, I need help. And it says, well, I can make you this thing, this grabber, this puller thing in an hour. He came back in an hour, and we gave him, and he was so happy he could then operate any thing. I mean, that's what's really worthwhile.